So hello everyone, my name is Alan from Al's Basketball Training, and today I'm going to talk to you about Klay Thompson's injury, how bad it feels, and what it feels like to have a torn ACL. I've had one myself, that's why I'm making this video. So for anybody who thinks that they tweaked their knee or anything like that, this video might be for you. So basically, let's first see what that video was all about. Let's see what Klay Thompson's injury, and then I'll get back to you about what it feels like to have an ACL injury. So how my injury went was I tore my ACL, my MCL, and my meniscus. Now, basically that's two ligaments and the meniscus, which is kind of like the stuff inside the knee. Kind of makes the knee malleable and like it doesn't go grinding bone on bone. It's the stuff between the bones. Now, basically an ACL injury, so mine was obviously a bit different than Klay Thompson's. Klay Thompson was just an ACL injury. And in the video, you've seen that he went like this with his hands to the trainer, to the medical staff. And as soon as he did that, I made a post on my Facebook page saying, pretty sure that's a ligament injury. And in my head, I didn't want to go ahead and presume this because I hate presuming it because I've actually been right quite often as saying that it's an ACL injury. And the reason why I thought that is when you have an ACL injury, what the ACL does in your knee is basically keeps it stable. So it allows your bottom of the leg to not go flopping around doing weird things. So it basically keeps your knee tight. And basically, as soon as he went like that to me basically meant that he felt that his knee popped and wasn't stable anymore. It wasn't stable to land on, which obviously because it bent like that. Now, when it comes to an ACL injury, they hurt. When he was crawling on the floor, when he was screaming, I know that pain. It's the worst pain I've ever been in. So if you've ever felt your knee, so if you are watching this video because you think that possibly you might have an ACL injury, when you're walking or running, do you feel like it's stable? Because when you have an ACL tear, it's not stable. You may have a ton of muscles around you, around your leg, but it's not stable. So the other thing is when it goes out, you'll know something's wrong first of all. It's not just I think something's wrong. You'll know something is wrong because you felt the pop. You may have heard the pop, but you felt the pop. And it's a distinctive pop. It's almost like a rubber band snapping. And as soon as you feel that, you know something's wrong. And then you feel like your knee or your leg, as soon as it's out of the bend, you'll feel it sort of like clunk back. And at least that was for me because I had also meniscus tears, which is probably because of the ACL tear that I had, because my knee or my leg went out, just like Klay Thompson's. That's everyone's leg when it goes out. Some are a little bit more pronounced than others. And then as soon as you release that pressure and you kind of like lift it up, you'll kind of feel it go clunk back. And that's when you're in insane amounts of pain. And you can actually feel your knee, at least in my case, I could feel my knee swelling as that happened. And it's not a great feeling. Basically, as soon as that happened, I went home, I went to the hospital, and they'll do a test and they'll hold onto your knee. And then they'll hold on to your ankle, and they'll try and twist your leg sideways. And if they can twist it sideways, and you're going to be feeling that pop, like not the elastic pop again, but you're going to be feeling that clunk in your leg every single time they move it. And that basically signifies to them that you tore your ACL, which is probably the test that Klay Thompson went through. The next thing that they would do with you is, after that, you would go through possibly a couple of scans. I never had any scans on my knee, mainly because they knew that something was torn. And the first surgery I had was a scope just to see the amount of damage that I had, mainly because the swelling was too much for scans anyways. And then they did the surgery for the scope, and when they went in for the scope, they were able to see, they fixed the meniscus, and then they seen that the ACL was for sure torn and the MCL was ruptured, was mostly torn. They said that the MCL was able to heal itself for me. They fixed the meniscus for me, and then they booked a second surgery for the ACL reconstruction. Now I'm going to go over the ACL reconstruction in a few seconds, but after my first knee surgery, I got blood clots in my calf. So if you have any kind of knee surgery and you start feeling pain in your calf, and this is kind of throbbing pain in your calf, that is time for you to go to the hospital, because you probably have either an infection, like my dad has right now with his knee replacement surgery, or you have blood clots. I thought he had blood clots because he said it's a throbbing pain. They did scans, they did tests, he has an infection and it's quite bad. However, it's always good to get in there and see what's going on, because either way, infection or blood clots, both are really bad. Now, next was my ACL reconstruction, and basically how they did mine. There's many different ways that they can do it. They can take an ACL from a dead guy. They can take a little bit of your hamstring, lengthen it, and do something to it and stick it in. With me, they used the middle of my patella tendon, and then obviously they sew the two sides back together, and then they used that as my ACL. Now, from there, they basically drill a hole through the bottom of the bone in the bottom of your leg. They put one through the top bone. I'm not giving you any medical terms because there's no sense in me giving that to you. Give me 2 seconds though. Basically, they drill a hole through this bone. They drill a hole through this bone. They weave the ligament through, and then they put a screw on either side to hold that ligament in. And I've got a scar about 2 inches long in front, a scar about 2 inches long on the side. And that is the ACL reconstruction surgery. After about 6 months, you're going to be feeling a lot better. For me, I had some setbacks. I had some kind of an infection as well on my ACL reconstruction surgery, which was fantastic. But going from there, you basically have to baby it, go through rehab, don't gain weight like I gained weight, and just work on it and make your legs stronger overall. Now, if you do have an ACL surgery or ACL tear, I personally feel really sorry for you. It's the worst pain I was ever in, and I bet it's probably one of the worst pains that you're ever in. Anyways, I hope that you enjoyed today's video. I hope that if you have a knee injury, I hope that it gets better fast, and I hope Clay Thompson's injury gets better fast as well. I'll see you guys again later on today. Actually, no, this is the second video of the day, so I'll see you guys again tomorrow.